Welcome to CandleLight Audiobook. The Secret Misses. Chapter 221. Late at night. After the girl's breathing had evened out, the man finally opened eyes clear and cold as a deep pool. Under the moonlight, he quietly watched the sleeping girl's peaceful face, and gently kissed her lips. From the first moment he had seen her, he had wanted to lock her up at home and confine her to the bed, so that she couldn't go anywhere and no one would look at her. Only he could look at her, and she would look at only him. Even he himself was astonished at how he had managed to endure it until now. After a light kiss, the man pried open the girl's lips and forcefully entwined his tongue with hers, until the girl frowned and almost woke up from the lack of air. After a long time, he finally drew away. He touched the girl's cheek, and sighed imperceptibly. "Luna, don't test my endurance. I can't promise that I'll be able to endure for much longer. I also can't guarantee what I will do." The next morning. Luna didn't know exactly when she had fallen asleep. Anyway, when she woke up, Theo was predictably no longer in bed. It was almost 9 o'clock when she got up after having slept too late. There were a bunch of missed calls on her phone from Adam, who sent WeChat messages scolding her, wondering if she had stood him up again. Luna scratched her head and sent him a message telling him to come over. She went to wash up, then went downstairs. Theo had gone to work, and Little Treasure, who hadn't disturbed her while she was sleeping, was sitting quietly on the sofa reading a book. "Darling, come here." Luna waved at Little Treasure. Little Treasure immediately put down the book, and Dang Dang ran over to her. Luna picked the little guy up and said, "Auntie will take you out to play today, all right?" Hearing this, Little Treasure's face was full of surprise, and he nodded furiously. At this moment, a honk sounded at the gate. Luna held Little Treasure's hand as they went outside. When Adam saw Luna, he was stunned. Today, she had her hair up in a ponytail, and was wearing a pair of overalls and a floral white t-shirt with a cartoon figure on it. With a shoulder bag slung across her body, she looked like a student. "Let's go." Luna took Little Treasure to the car. Adam looked wide-eyed at Little Treasure next to her. "Don't tell me, you want to take this little kid with us on our date?" Luna looked askance at him. "Who's going on a date with you?" "I taking Little Treasure on an autumn outing and a picnic, okay?" Adam goggled. "Then why did you ask me to come?" "To drive the car, of course. I thought about it for a bit, but you are the only person who was free today." Goldberg Corporation was in talks for yet another huge venture, so both Theo and Cleo were busy during this period. Adam choked, dumbfounded. "Are you going or not? If we don't go now, the sun will go down soon." Luna urged him. Following orders, Adam got into the car. "Aren't you afraid that someone will recognize us?" "It'll be fine with a little disguise." Adam was startled a bit, and said uneasily, "What are we disguising as? A family of 3? You wish. I'm the sister, Little Treasure is the little brother, and as for you." "Who am I?" "The dad?" "Bah. You're the driver." "Adam. Remember to go to the supermarket first. We have to buy a grill, plus meat and drinks." "Got it." A black cloud hung over Adam. This asshole really knew how to trap him. After shopping at the supermarket, Luna found a spot by a small river with good scenery and no one around. Humming a song happily, she taught Little Treasure how to skewer meat. Adam was singing as he put together a fishing rod. "It's sunny today, but you showed up with your little brother." Seeing his face, my mood became cloudy, like salt on my wound. Luna stood up with her hands on her hips. "Enough. Sing a merry song for Master. It's fine weather today, the scenery is good, it's good." Chapter 222. Adam was listless, but once he started eating, he regained his energy. At least Luna, this person, was really good at cooking. It was just a regular barbecue, but she made it taste so good. Guessing that it had been hard on him, Little Treasure, who didn't care about anyone else apart from Luna, actually personally passed him a lamb skewer. Adam was overwhelmed with gratitude. Also, He realized that Luna hadn't been exaggerating before. The little kid was really too lovable when he was being good. No wonder Luna was so good to him. Damn it, it was so unfair. How did someone like Theo produce such a cute son? Genetic mutation? Adam chewed his meat as he played around with a small idea. Even though he had come along as labor, who would know? He kept seeing Theo's daily posts in WeChat moments showing off their PDA. Now it was his turn. Adam secretly laughed a few times, and took a sneaky photo of Luna's back with his phone. He posted it in his moments smugly. Aloha. Picnicking. Given Theo's discerning eye, he would definitely recognize the view of her back. Very quickly, his gang of rascal friends started commenting. Wow. She's a knockout. Can tell she's a beauty just from her back. Adam, you bastard, where's your loyalty to your friends? Bring the girl for us to take a look. A photo of her face, a photo of her face. Don't be stingy. Why does she look so young? Is she of age yet? Adam, are you breaking the law now? After a while, Cleo commented, ouch. The barbecue meat looks so good. And chicken wing, grilled fish, you brat, you didn't call me, your uncle over for such good food. Cleo's focus of attention really was different from normal people's. After a long while, the one he had really been waiting for finally made an appearance. Refreshing his feed, he saw that Theo had just replied. Adam hurriedly clicked on it, but after reading it, his face turned black. Theo's comment, don't let little treasure eat too much, recently he's been a little overweight. Little treasure. How did Theo know little treasure was with them? Adam looked at his picture again, and finally realized the problem. In the photo, little treasure's figure was reflected on the river's surface. Fuck, he had too good an eye. Adam's bragging had failed. His head drooped and he retreated like a beaten roster. Then he saw Luna making a call on her phone. Who are you calling? Adam asked casually. Stacy, Luna answered. After becoming more familiar with each other, Luna had started calling her Stacy instead of Sister Stacy. Adam took a sip of his juice. What straight, what turn? My manager, Stacy. G as in the mushroom Stacy, alright? When she said that, Adam spit out the juice he had been drinking. You said who? Stacy, Eva's manager. You didn't watch the press conference that day? Why are you so slow? Luna gave him a belittling look. Fuck that. I knew what the result was going to be, why would I still watch it? Stacy, why her? After finding out that Luna had joined Glory World, he had been agitated. He only had a rough idea of the situation, and hadn't watched the press conference. Who knew Theo would drop such a big bomb on him? Luna was confused. Why can't it be Stacy? Why are you so agitated? Don't tell me she was your ex-girlfriend? Adam. Seeing that Adam was unusually silent, Luna snapped her fingers. I'm such an idiot, I guessed it, didn't I? Don't talk to me. I need some peace and quiet. Chapter 223. Adam had lost this round completely. Strictly speaking, he was the one who had started the war, but he had stepped on a mine himself, and couldn't take another step. The enemy was brutal. Luna couldn't believe it. I never expected that someone like Stacy can also be blind at times. Adam glared at her, watch your mouth. What blind? You are the blind one. You even like trash like Liam. Luna sighed. AI, just blame it on us being young and naive, we couldn't tell the dogs from people. You. Adam was so angry that he couldn't continue, then in the end exploded. Now do you know how evil and scheming Theo is? He used such a shameless trick to stop me. After saying that, he thought he would see regret on Luna's face, but instead, he saw her act all silly and infatuated. Lord Boss really is so wise and such a strategist, always prepared and able to plan victories from 1,000 miles away. Adam's face was as black as the bottom of a pan. Luna, there is no hope for you anymore. Luna suddenly moved closer, a cheeky expression on her face. "Hey, what happened between you and Stacy? Looking at your face, it doesn't seem something as simple as an ex-girlfriend." Adam, this guy wouldn't be this apprehensive over something as trifling as an ex-girlfriend. "Mind your own business first." Adam wasn't in a good mood, and asked hesitantly, "What did you guys talk about just now?" Luna shrugged. "Not much. She let me know the writer is revising the script, and filming will resume in half a month. Sheldon brother told me the same. There'll be more emphasis on Ella and Eden's story after the rewrite. As for Luna and Ethan, it's not clear yet whether they will be replaced, but since Theo cares about you so much, I bet he'll definitely get rid of them." Adam analyzed the situation. Luna shook her head. "Wrong. If Theo really knows the way I think, he definitely won't have anyone replaced. Because, using my strength to thoroughly defeat Luna in the movie, and reducing her to nothing more than a foil for my role, for me, is the best way to get revenge." After saying this, Luna's phone beeped with a notification for the latest entertainment news. She subscribed to some important entertainment news sites, and each time, the latest news would pop up themselves. The corners of Luna's mouth couldn't help turning up after she read it. She looked simply like a silly girl in love. Terrified by the expression on her face, Adam drew closer warily to take a look. It was Glory World's latest announcement. Goldberg Lou Corporation had stepped in to replace the investments withdrawn by Brown International and Starlight Entertainment. The World project now belonged to Glory World completely. Out of consideration for the shooting schedule, none of the cast would be replaced. Adam felt suffocated by the tacit understanding which Theo and Luna shared. "It looks like you've been completely ensnared, and you don't even know it. You like Theo this much, can you really endure not being with him?" Luna laid down on the grass and plucked a piece of bristlegrass and stuck it between her lips. "Who said that if you like someone you need to be with that person? Is it any less than the people who get together because they like each other? How many of them really last? This is already good enough. The best case scenario was them becoming good friends and confidants. But even if the worst case scenario came to pass, forgetting with the flow of time wasn't a bad thing. The memories would then remain forever in a time when they were the most beautiful." Chapter 224. There was no way she could waste a half-month break. The next day, Luna also took little Treasure out to have fun. "Miss Luna, do you want to wait for eldest young master to come back from work first before going out together?" The old butler couldn't just watch anymore, and started to prompt her like a matchmaker. Luna scratched her head. "Better not, he's so busy. We can go by ourselves." She had deliberately chosen a time when Theo wasn't around. There was no way she would wait for him to come back from work first. "Then, please let them follow you. This is eldest young master's instruction. We can't take little young master's safety lightly." The old butler gestured at 3 bodyguards wearing black clothes and sunglasses nearby. It was a reasonable request. Of course Luna could only agree. This way, she didn't need to look for Adam to do the work. Why did she have a feeling that Theo had arranged it like that on purpose? Luna's plan for today was to buy little Treasure some toys and clothes. Of course, since she hadn't received her pay yet, she still had to use Theo's credit card. While they were shopping, she found a newly opened kids' clothing store, which sold very trendy and cute clothes, and she switched completely into buy mode. Darling, this one is good too, go and try it on." Little Treasure nodded, and obediently went to the fitting room. While Luna was waiting for Little Bun to try on the clothes, she saw 2 familiar figures passing by outside the store. Emma held on to Liam's arm intimately as they walked and chatted together. "Wow, this kid's clothing store is so cute. Liam, let's go inside and take a look. Aaliyah's son's birthday is next month. Shall we get him some clothes as a birthday gift?" Liam answered passively. "Have you seen Aaliyah's son? He's so fair-skinned and chubby, so cute. Liam, if we have a son in the future, do you think he will be as cute?" Emma asked shyly. "Probably." It was obvious that Liam's mood was low as he gave a perfunctory answer. Emma looked like she was at a loss. "Liam, are you still angry with me? I already publicly apologized on Weibo, and you heard Caleb's explanation for yourself. As for that phone call, it was because you suddenly wouldn't talk to me, so I had a little too much to drink. I was so desperate and anxious, and I didn't know what I was saying. I really regret it. Luna. As Emma was explaining, Liam suddenly said Luna's name. She followed his gaze, and unexpectedly saw Luna standing next to a clothes rack opposite them. Sister. Emma's tears welled up, and she immediately ran over to hold her hand. Sister, finally. I wanted to apologize in person so badly, but you didn't pick up my phone calls these past few days, and I don't know where you're staying. When everyone was asking me about this before, I did say that I didn't believe that you did all that, and then it turned out to be a misunderstanding. I knew you wouldn't do anything like that. Now the truth has come out, but you were still hurt by it. I was a victim too, but no matter what, this incident happened because of me, and I pulled you into it. So I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. You can hit me, scold me, do whatever you want, as long as you stop being angry with me. Emma's speech gave the impression of sincere feeling, and sounded natural and unforced, even making it sound like Luna was still bullying her without reason. Luna didn't say anything sharp to her like she did before, and only threw a resigned and tired look in Liam's direction. Chapter 225. Her eyes made Liam's heart feel as if it was being nibbled on by lice, and he hurriedly drew Emma away from Luna. Emma, calm down a little. Emma did not notice Luna's little action, her tears falling down. Liam, help me talk to sister. You know best how much I've hurt and blamed myself these last few days. I really hope she can forgive me. Otherwise I really... Looking at the woman crying broken-heartedly in his arms, Liam finally relented. Luna, I'm sorry, Emma blames herself very much for this. When Emma heard this, her mouth twitched with the hint of a smug smile. While she wept sadly on the outside, inside she was secretly expecting Luna to explode. Every time she had asked for forgiveness before, Luna would definitely become very agitated, and she would say every nasty thing possible, which made Liam dislike her even more. It would definitely be the same this time. Luna tiredly pinched the skin between her eyebrows, and then sighed. Forget it, Emma, I saw your apology and I also received it. Since it was a misunderstanding, then forget it. I forgive you. What did you say? Emma's face changed instantly, full of disbelief. On the other hand, Liam was very delighted. Emma, are you relieved now? Emma couldn't say a single word, her face turning the color of liver. On the other side, the door of the dressing room opened, and little Treasure stepped out in the clothes he had tried on. A hint of warmth instantly flickered over Luna's fake mask. She walked over to pick little Treasure up with a smile, and then said to the salesgirl, I want all the clothes that he just tried on, and he'll directly wear this one out. Understood, I'll ring them up for you right away, the salesgirl answered with a dimpled smile. Luna nodded to Liam to indicate she was leaving, then with little Treasure in her arms, walked directly out of the store. Behind them, a bodyguard in black settled the bill, picked up all the shopping bags, and followed after them. Emma was struck dumb at this scene. Then an extremely excited expression appeared on her face. Is what Aaliyah and Maya said true? Last time they told me they saw Luna buying children's clothes at the mall, but I didn't believe it. Sister, don't tell me she really has become the mistress of an old rich man, and even gave him a son. It was a pity that Luna had left so quickly. She hadn't been able to see the child's face clearly, and also wasn't in time to secretly take photos as evidence. Emma. Stop talking nonsense. When Liam heard this, he immediately interrupted her with a solemn face, looking in the direction of Luna's departure. I saw this child once. Luna already said, he's just the son of a friend. Emma said hurriedly, Liam, you are too naive. Can she be so good to him if he is just the son of a friend? Look, she has a bodyguard following her, and she paid with a black card. This sort of family would have plenty of nannies and bodyguards. Why would she need to help take care of the kid? A hint of struggle and hesitation appeared on Liam's face. But then he seemed to think of something, and in the end he still said in a determined voice, Emma, in my heart, Luna is my little sister. If you insult her, you insult me. Don't let me hear such words again. Other people can doubt her, but we can't, understand? Emma had completely not expected Liam's attitude towards Luna to change so drastically after what happened this time. Damn it. What kind of spell had Luna cast on him in the hospital that day? Liam suddenly had so much faith in her, even turning a deaf ear to Emma's words. Chapter 226. I'm sorry, Liam, I know I'm wrong, I won't do it again. Emma gritted her teeth as she said the words. It seemed like the incident this time had aroused the guilt inside Liam, and he wouldn't doubt Luna so easily anymore. But so what, even if he wouldn't believe what people said, she would find an opportunity to make him see it with his own eyes. Then they'd see whether or not he still wouldn't believe it. It would be too easy to find Luna's weak point. Her relationship with Adam had always been unclear, and now there was a kid in the mix. Things were getting more and more interesting. But she would have to temporarily endure it during this period, and wait for Liam's guilt to decrease before she could do anything else. On the ground floor of the mall, Luna was ready to take little Treasure home, when she suddenly discovered that the car which had been waiting for them at the entrance was gone. Huh, where's our car? Luna was confused. It couldn't have been stolen, right? But that wasn't possible, since the driver had still been in the car. Behind her, the bodyguard replied, Miss, our car has already left because the boss called just now to say that he would come get us after work. Luna said stupidly when she heard this, then hurriedly continued, then we should go by ourselves. What if he has to work overtime or is delayed by something? Before she finished speaking, a black Maybach pulled up smoothly. The window of the back seat rolled down slowly, and an expressionless face appeared. Finished shopping? Luna's expression was stiff as she nodded her head. She had been getting up late and sleeping early the last 2 days to avoid running into him, so even though they lived under one roof, she hadn't seen him for 2 whole days. Going home? Yes, yes. Luna opened the car door and helped little Treasure into the car. Then she opened the door of the front passenger seat, prepared to sit in the front. However, one of the bodyguards came up to her in anxious worry. Miss, the front passenger seat isn't safe, so let me sit here. It's better for you to sit at the back, it's very roomy. Oh. Luna opened the back car door again, and got in. After getting in, even though little Bun was between them, Luna tried her best to stay on her side of the car. Theo's attitude was the same as usual. With a laptop on his knees, he was busy tapping away rapidly on his keyboard. Seeing this, Luna breathed a little sigh of relief. However, 10 minutes later, Theo seemed to have finished his work. He put the computer down, settled a drowsy little Treasure onto his lap, placed the computer on his other side, and then naturally turned in Luna's direction. The familiar cold aura suddenly intruded onto the safe distance, making the hair on Luna's whole body immediately stand on end. She subconsciously pressed her body against the door again, her face almost glued to the window. Luna. Theo's voice sounded in her ears. What is it? Luna turned her head to him. Theo looked at her, and spoke unhurriedly. Are you hiding from me? How is that possible? Why would I need to hide from you? It's just that the red clouds at sunset outside the window are very pretty. I'm looking at the view, just the view. Saying that, Luna turned back around with a whoosh. But at that moment, she didn't know what the driver was doing, but he suddenly made a sharp turn, causing Luna's body to fall towards Theo. Theo frowned, and stretched out one arm to protect her shoulder. After that, he didn't take his arm back. I'm sorry, boss, a car suddenly swerved into the lane just now, reported assistant Alex, who was driving the car. Theo, drive a little slower. Alex was getting a pay rise when they got back. Alex understood. Luna. Was it her imagination, or was everyone, from the butler to the bodyguard to the assistant, helping Theo out? Chapter 227, I miss you a lot. After returning home, Luna continued using dieting as an excuse for missing dinner, and the first chance she got, went up to her room. She was really thankful for hers and little Bun's skyrocketing weight these last few days. It gave her such a good excuse. After a while, there was a knock on the door. Luckily, from the sound of the footsteps, it wasn't Theo. Luna had just showered, and she was drying her hair as she went over to open the door. Wan Wan was standing at the door, holding a tray of food in her hands. Seeing how breathtaking Luna looked after a shower, she was clearly stunned. The girl in front of her was just too beautiful. Right after a shower, her white skin had a red flush to it that made her even more alluring, so much so that even she as a woman was captivated. No wonder, eldest young master. Wan Wan quickly shook her head and came to her senses, as she said, Miss Luna, eldest young master had me bring you something to eat. Even though it's important to watch your weight, you shouldn't starve yourself. All these are low in calories and fat, eating them will be fine. Okay, thank you, Wan Wan. Looking at the cute servant, Luna's nervous mood eased a lot. Wan Wan, you changed your hairstyle. It's cute, it suits you very well. Thank you, Miss Luna. Wan Wan happily touched her hair, and then said hesitantly, Miss Luna, you are a very good person. In fact, I think you and eldest young master are especially compatible. It would be wonderful if you could become our eldest young mistress. Otherwise, if some other scheming woman joined the family, we would definitely be very miserable. Luna, why was even the maid starting to help him? Please cut me some slack. Later, Wan Wan knocked on her door again, and gave her a glass of milk. When there was a knock at the door for the third time, Luna was leaning against the balcony railing as she blew dry her hair. Thinking it was Wan Wan again, she directly said to come in. It was only when the footsteps got closer that she felt something wasn't right. She turned around, and as expected, she saw Theo's face within reach. Theo. Luna subconsciously tightened her grip on the railing. Did you need something? Theo did not speak, just stood there looking at her silently. The girl in front of him was wearing a long royal-looking nightgown which reached her ankles. What should be covered was covered completely. After a blow-dry, her hair was still a little damp, drifting softly in the night wind. Her cheeks were still flushed from the steam of her shower, and her alert eyes flashed with a hint of startlement and vigilance. When Luna's scalp almost tingled from being stared at, Theo finally spoke. Luna. Luna, huh? Theo, I miss you very much. Luna instantly goggled, and almost thought that she had heard wrong. Cough, what? Theo reached out to gently pick up a strand of hair by her ear, and said in a dreamy tone, like the chill rising from a pool of cold ice, it feels like I haven't seen you for a very long time. It was just 2 days, okay? Arg, this wasn't the main point. The point was that Theo had just said that he missed her. He directly said that he missed her. This wasn't how things were supposed to turn out. She was definitely hallucinating, right? She had to be. But as Luna kept thinking of a proper reason for Theo's actions, Theo took one step forward, put a hand around her waist, drew her gently to him, and then embraced her. At the same time, his other hand came up around her, and in an extremely exhausted and yearning gesture, he leaned down to softly bury his head in the crook of her neck. Luna. Chapter 228. OMG. What was this situation? It was as if Luna's brain had been invaded by a virus, throwing the coding into wild disarray. When she finally came back to her senses, her first reaction was to push him away quickly. But Theo tightened his arms, and the voice in her ear sounded a little pitiful. Don't move, all right? Let me hold you for a little while. Luna. How was she supposed to respond to this request? Damn it. What the hell was Theo playing at? She had been avoiding him these 2 days, and had been very careful not to stir him up. Why was he suddenly? 10 seconds passed. 30 seconds passed. 1 minute passed. 3 minutes passed. It was supposed to be a little while only. Too untrustworthy. The moment Luna couldn't bear it anymore, Theo released her. Sorry. I forgot myself. Luna swallowed. Hee, it's fine, it's fine. Fuck it. He almost scared her into a heart attack, and he thought he could make it all right with just a "forgot myself." What made her even more miserable was that she couldn't say no. Seeing the sullen look on the girl's face, there was an imperceptible flash of amusement in his eyes. Go to bed a little earlier. Good night. Hee, good night, good night, good night to you too. Good night her, but she didn't need to sleep tonight. The next morning, Luna, who as expected had tossed and turned in bed the whole night, didn't dare to get up. Finally, she covertly gave Wan a phone call. Wan, has your eldest young master gone to work yet? No. But I think eldest young master is very busy. His phone hasn't stopped ringing since he got up and came downstairs. Assistant Alex also came over in a hurry, and it seems he asked eldest young master when would they be heading out. And then? Then eldest young master hasn't left. He's been downstairs all this time. I don't know what he's waiting for. Luna. It looked like she couldn't avoid him. Luna took several deep breaths, adjusted her mindset, put on an impenetrable mask, and went downstairs with a calm, natural expression. She saw Theo sitting leisurely on the sofa. Nearby, Assistant Alex was holding a stack of documents in his hands, looking very anxious but not daring to urge him to hurry. Luna stretched as she came down the stairs. When she saw Theo, she deliberately showed an astonished expression. Theo, it's already this time, why haven't you gone to work yet? Theo heard the girl's voice, and raised his eyes to look at her with a soft expression. His eyes were like yarn, warmly and gently twining around her. I was waiting for you, Theo said. Luna was lifeless. Why was she suddenly unable to speak properly with him? While Luna had a foolish look on her face, Theo had already stood up and walked towards her. Luna's instinctive reflex was to retreat, but as if they had some intangible power, the man's eyes held her in place, and she couldn't move. Within a moment, Theo was already in front of her. He rubbed her head with his large palm. If I don't wait for you now, then I'll be unable to see you for the whole day again. Luna was still lifeless. I'm going to work. Saying that, Theo leaned forward to kiss her forehead. Luna. She was now totally dead. Behind them, Alex startled as if he had been blinded, then looked away with a flushed face, as if he had seen something inappropriate. This was too inhumane. He had not only almost gone crazy with anxiety so early in the morning, he was also being oppressed as a single man. Chapter 229. Long after Theo had left, Luna still remained rooted to the same spot, her fingers unconsciously touching her forehead where he had kissed her. It was still burning with sensation. Although it was just a kiss on her forehead, although she had already secretly kissed him before, it was still the first kiss that had happened when they were both sober. At this moment, Luna understood at last. Theo had definitely known about her strategy early on, so he had switched tactics. If he had continued pretending like before, that would have been fine. But if he simply didn't conceal it anymore, changing dark to light, what could she do? Fuck. It was over. She really couldn't win against him. If she was pushed to the point where she had to lay all her cards on the table, then there could only be one outcome, and they might part on bad terms, or worse. As Luna was panicking, she suddenly felt her pants leg being yanked. Looking down, she saw Little Treasure, who was tilting his little head up to look at her. Little Treasure. Luna saw Little Treasure holding a watercolor painting in his hands, and said in surprise, "Did you finish drawing already?" Little Treasure nodded shyly, then stared expectantly at her. Luna's plans for the near future was all about accompanying Little Treasure. She had already arranged the itinerary yesterday. She would take Little Treasure to fly a kite, and furthermore, they would make it by hand themselves. After clearly seeing what Little Treasure had painted, Luna was a little amazed. "This, you painted?" Apart from her and himself, Little Treasure seldom painted portraits, and people never appeared in the scenery that he painted, but this time, Luna realized that there were 3 people in his painting. White clouds floated in a vast boundless sky, and there were 3 people sitting on the clouds, a man, a woman, and a little boy between them. Little Treasure had still used an abstract painting style, but from their characteristics, Luna could still recognize the people in the painting at a glance. They were her and Theo, and Little Treasure. Little Treasure had always never been fond of Theo, and when he drew, it was only ever her or the both of them together. He had never drawn Theo. This was the first time that Little Treasure had also painted Theo. Luna was a little startled, but she quickly recovered. She took Little Bun's hand. "Let's go. Let's use it to make a kite. Grandpa Butler should have already helped us prepare the bamboo canes for the frame." Little Bun nodded, but he seemed a little disappointed. Luna flew a kite with Little Treasure the whole day, and personally cooked that night. She had taken Little Treasure out to eat the last 2 days, then had come back very late at night, and had hidden in her room as soon as she returned. Now that it was obvious that this ploy had failed, she didn't need to continue with it. Just as she finished cooking, Cleo, that guy, eagerly came running over after following the scent like a dog, wagging his tail. "Wow, oh, these are all my favorites, sister-in-law, bah, cough, 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 Luna, I've been waiting for you to cook again." Speechless, Luna looked askance at Cleo. This guy, did he slip just now and call her sister-in-law? "Go and tell your brother that dinner's ready." Oh, okay." Cleo ran off in a hurry, but at the same time, his heart was full of suspicion. He had accidentally blabbed it just now, which had made him break out in a cold sweat. But unexpectedly Luna didn't react. Did she not hear him clearly? At the table, the more Cleo, who had a keen instinct, looked at the two people, the more he felt that there was something off about them. Something is wrong, something is wrong. Cleo gnawed on his chopsticks, and drew closer to his brother's ear to whisper, "Brother, did you do something to Luna? Why does she look so scared of you? She doesn't even dare look at you." Chapter 230. "I didn't do anything," Theo answered. There wasn't the slightest hint of anything unusual in his emotionless expression. "Is there something wrong with my sixth sense then?" "Not possible." Baffled, Cleo scratched his head. At last, the meal ended like that. Luna felt that eating this meal was more tiring than fighting a war. She had to be on her guard every second. After the meal, Luna immediately stood up and started clearing the table. "I'll wash the dishes." Cleo finished the last sweet and sour rib, and spoke with his mouth full. "Let me do it." It's fine, I'll do it." Luna scrambled to do it. If she didn't find something to do, she would go crazy. Cleo looked apprehensively at Theo next to him, and said hurriedly, "How can we let you wash the dishes after you worked hard to make them? I ate the most, of course I should be the one to wash the dishes." Saying that, Cleo looked at his brother, like he was waiting for a reward. However, Theo looked at him indifferently and said, "Let Luna do it." Huh, Cleo was utterly stunned. Did the sun rise in the west today? This wife-protecting maniac was letting Luna wash the dishes? This wasn't logical. No matter how hard he thought, Cleo was still confused. Theo looked at him, and said slowly, "You are the guest, after all." Stupefied, Cleo pointed at himself with his finger. "What? I'm the guest?" In other words, it was Luna and him that were family? Since when had he become the guest here? On the side, Luna blushed. She put her hand to her forehead, with the expression of someone ready to die, then quickly ran upstairs. Little Treasure watched Auntie Luna suddenly run away with a lost expression on his face. He didn't know what was wrong with Auntie Luna, but he could tell it was his papa who had done something to her, so he gave Theo an unhappy stare, then followed behind her on his short legs. Cleo was caught off guard by the way Theo had brutally thrown dog food right in his face. Looking dumbly at Luna's fleeing back, he said helplessly, "Brother, this is what you call nothing? Your teasing sent even a tough girl like Luna running away, all right? I knew there was nothing wrong with my sixth sense. What on earth are you trying to stir up? I act so carefully every day to not sell you out, but in the end, you've suddenly become so unrestrained in your approach. Whatever the case is, at least tell me about it, so then I'll know how to coordinate with you." Cleo nagged for a long while, and Theo responded with 3 words, "Go wash dishes." Then he turned to walk upstairs with cool aplomb. Cleo. He had been tortured to the point he lost all his skin and almost vomited blood, and in the end he still needed to wash the dishes? He had only been used for his brother to show off their affection. Where was the humanity? Where was the reason? And where was the brotherhood? The night was quiet and peaceful, and Luna was lying in bed with her eyes wide open. It had already been a few hours, but her heart was still beating unusually fast. What the hell? She had already experienced and seen so much of the world, yet with one sentence from a man, she was panicking this much. Her heart was racing, just like a naive teenage girl who was completely inexperienced in love. She almost already didn't dare imagine what the future would be like. No, she couldn't continue like this, just waiting to be killed. At this time, the clock struck midnight with a dong. Luna rolled out of bed, and started searching everywhere for something. A single person can be colloquially referred to as a dog, so couples who flaunt their PDA are pretty much throwing dog food in single people's faces.